Andy, long afternoon, but 3 points in the end, 2 back-to-back league wins. How do you feel, more importantly, after all that?
I'm delighted for the players. I thought the performance levels was the best we've played all season, both with and without the ball. We obviously looked at Wigan over the last couple of days and knew how they wanted to play, and we had to play with a real energy, a real intensity, a real enthusiasm. And after playing 120 minutes on Tuesday night, we had to make sure that we recovered really well. So that's a credit to all the staff at the football club and to the players individually. And we looked at a proper team today. I thought the game probably should have been done at half time. We were that dominant in the first half. Delighted for Ethan to score a hat-trick, obviously, but just a generally all-round really good performance.
That start must have been ideally what you wanted, particularly after Tuesday and how deflating that was. To go out and do that in the first half an hour of the game and a bit more. That must have been exactly what you were after.
Yeah, Tuesday was a tough night for everyone. I think in the manner of how the game changed, but I think it says a lot about the resilience of all of the players and all of the staff. That we took on the criticism. We looked at things we should have done better as a group, and we had to put that into practice against a different team with different strengths. But I think today was all about us, and so I thought we were really, really good today. I think that's the best collective all-round performance of the season, and I thought the fans, the energy that they added to the game as well. I thought they saw what was happening on the pitch. And when you've lost 5 home games on the spin, that's not easy. But I thought the crowd showed the same energy and enthusiasm as the players did on the pitch, and it was a great atmosphere at the end.
Some big calls today to make as well. One of which was dropping your captain. That must have been difficult to do because you made him captain for a reason, hasn't it? But you've got to stand by decisions like that, I suppose.
Yeah, I had some tough conversations yesterday. But what I do know is that each of those players who came out of the team for various reasons will respond in the right way. And there was no one louder than Nathan before the game, encouraging his teammates, demanding of his teammates, and he's working out there, and there'll be no one working harder. So I know the response I'm going to get from him.
Alfie and Ollie in there at times look like they are playing on a different plane to some other players and some other teams as well. Having those two out there for the length of time that you did, particularly after Tuesday as well, was that a key part of the game as well?
Listen, we do a lot of work on the opposition and how they press and how we can break through their press and the pictures which particularly Lowy and particularly Funds are going to have. And when you're playing that shape in midfield, you have to play through teams, but then you also need penetration on the last line as well. And it's important we get our wing backs high, and Ben in particular stays high on the last line. So that's what we try and do. And when you find that rhythm and you find that connection, those two obviously become better players because they're receiving the ball in space, and then they can go and affect the game. But listen, we're pleased we've got them, but they're part of a really good team performance today. So well done to both of them.
We can't go through it without saying, that was a 2-goal lead, and then you get back to 2-2 with just over 10 minutes to go as well. Psychologically, what was the mood at that point, particularly as well, given Tuesday?
Well, I said to 2 or 3 players when they came over, don't look at the scoreboard, don't look at the clock, play the game, and the game was still in our control. We were still a better team. We'd had 2 poor moments which we have to get better at, but they've got really good attacking players. Let's not try and kid ourselves that they should obviously have more points than they've got because of the points deduction, and the quality of players they've got on their last line makes them a constant threat, whatever, whether it's our poor defending or their good play. But the game shouldn't change. We were in the ascendancy. We dominated the whole game. They'd had a couple of spells of possession, but without really looking threatening. And the game, the amount of chances we created through really good play should have kept the players in a really positive mindset. And to go and respond, having gone to all on the back of Tuesday night and the disappointment of how that happened and when it happened, tells you everything about the group of players that I'm lucky to work with.
All of a sudden, Ethan Chislett's got 6 goals to his name. Just a word on him. He's found goals hard to come by the last few months, but he's just got that energy about him, and he is a good finisher, which we haven't really seen too much of the last few months. Yeah,
listen, it's been an interesting couple of hours with Chiz because I'm looking personally at how we can improve that goal scoring record, and I'm taking advice from lots of people, from other coaches, from sports psychologists. So I rang Callum last night, our analyst, and say I want you to put together all Chiz's goals for the last 4 years and all his assists. And we had a meeting at 1:15, and we went through and I went, how does that make you feel? He went, confident. I went, you've done it before. You've scored goals in the 6-yard box. You've scored goals in the second 6-yard box. You've scored goals from outside the box. You can play the last pass. Go and be you. Go and be confident. I've got so much belief in you. You're a top player, and we're lucky to have him. And the credit then goes around the pitch, because the finishes are great. He probably could have had a few more, but it's great. So, and hopefully now that gives him that kick on, that impetus to say, no, I've not scored since August, I don't think, but he's just scored 3 in one game. So massive credit to him.
Quick word on Funzo as well. Obviously, that to come off, was you carrying a bit of a knock on there?
Listen, when you do the amount of work which Funzo does, and the way he looks after his body, having played 120 minutes on Tuesday night, and he's a constant in our team because of the level of his performance. When he feels something in his body, we have to listen to him. But when the shape of the team altered, because their shape changed as well, so we altered ours slightly, our midfield. But listen, we'll see. We're now looking forward to a great night on Tuesday night, a game where no one expects us to get anything, but the rewards are absolutely so big for us as a football club, and for us to be in the quarter final anyway is a great achievement. Saying it's great to everyone, but it would be great to be in the semi-final, wouldn't it?